Byers Horsemanship. I have a question for you guys. What is the most dangerous thing that a horse can do while you're riding? Does anyone have a clue? Oh my God, yes. Tipping over backwards, rearing up and going over backwards. Out of the 15 years, I've had 4 horses go over backwards and land on top of me. In fact, one of them put me in ICU for about 4 days with a bruised kidney. And so I have seen many people get hurt. I've seen horses break their necks. I've seen people get smashed. It's not a good thing. Let's take a minute and look at this clip. Thought leads to action. What does that mean? Well, if the horse is thinking forward, then there's a good chance he's going to go forward. Now, what I noticed about this clip is the rider's really not getting in the way of the horse, is it? He's not asking for extreme collection and nothing to get in the horse's way from going forward. But in a second here, watch what happens. This horse goes from a trot to a dead stop and then goes straight up. Now, I don't see the rider doing anything that would cause this. In other words, I don't see this horse being cued to go up. Now, we can make lots of assumptions that this problem is a back pain or a muscle pain or the teeth need to be floated. But you know, some of us like to think that it's a training issue. You know, sometimes it could be anything. But the bottom line is a horse needs to think forward. And we need to encourage that horse to go forward with our driving aids. Now, what would be our driving aids? Well, that could be our legs or our seat, and they need to be reinforced by other aids like dressage whips or whatever you'd want to encourage it, maybe a voice command or so. But whatever it takes, we got to get the horse thinking forward so the horse doesn't rear up and go over backwards. Let's keep you safe. Now, here's another one. Do you think this little girl did anything wrong? But what happened to the horse? The horse stopped going forward. Have I made my point yet that rearing happens in a split second and there's nothing you can do to make the horse go forward? Now let's make practical application to what we were just talking about. I want to introduce you to a horse and a lady by the name of Karen Myers and Peanut. Now, Karen Myers is the president of the Minnesota chapter of the Western Dressage Association of America. Now, in this 1 minute and 15-second video or segment, Karen Myers hits Peanut 26 times with the dressage whip, even though Peanut is going forward soft and supple. Now, she's not abusing the horse, but this horse has flipped over at least 3 times in training. What'd you say there, Karen? Can you say that again, Karen? That's what I thought. Yes, she's not very soft. It is so important to be effective with your aids. If you just keep slapping the horse's butt without getting some kind of response, all you're doing is desensitizing the horse, just nagging. You have to be effective. You have to ask, insist, and demand. When I first started training this horse, I watched Karen get tossed off this horse 3 times. This horse spun around and threw Karen right against the wall. Why? Because the horse evades going forward. And why does the horse evade going forward? Because she's been desensitized to the very tools that we need to make the horse go forward, so the horse doesn't rear up and go over backwards. Now I have to fix Peanut. First of all, we've identified 2 problems that she has. One, she's been desensitized to the dressage whip going forward. Second of all, we know that she's not soft laterally. So if you notice, I'm rolling my spur up and down the rib cage to do what? To help get her to bend around my right inside leg while bending at the poll and bending at the neck and softening the shoulders. I'm also sitting on my outside left seat bone, and I'm using the inside rein to help her bend. Now she's doing great right here. I switched my aid, but I want you to notice, see her head tilt right there? She's not giving to the left rein. If you remember in the previous session with Karen, you'll remember that she said that she won't bend. Well, this is a problem that she has. So here again, we're using our aids to soften the horse up. I want a nice crossover in the front end. I want a nice bend through the rib cage. I want her to flex. All these things that we're doing tried to get her nice and soft and supple while going forward. Up to this point, we've been doing about a week's worth of groundwork previously to riding Peanut. I want you to understand what we're trying to do is transition the cues that we taught the horse from the ground, how to soften, go forward. If you remember in Karen's video, that's exactly what she was doing. She was helping the horse to go forward and bend. But do you notice here, we still have a head tilt. She's still not softening to the left. So what we're doing here is still the same thing. We're helping her to soften up on the left rein, get her to bend in the rib cage by using the spur or the leg. You can see I'm rolling the spur up again, trying to get her off my leg, get her to walk forward. At this point right now, I haven't really had to use any encouragement. Up to this point, this has been a really nice lesson. She's done everything I've asked for her to do. She's got off my leg, she's softened up at the bridle, generally speaking. But now things start getting messy. She starts to evade going forward. I don't know what happened, but I did not ask for her to spin around on the forehand. We always hear about people talking about balance and horses being in balance or out of balance. I'm really surprised at how many people really don't understand the biomechanics of horses and what really is balance. Here in this shot, I'm depicting a line going through the center of, this is the CG or center of gravity or the drive line. Notice where Peanut's nose is. It's above the center of gravity or the drive line. Anytime the horse gets above the drive line with the nose, we lose leverage and we also lose the ability to keep the horse in balance. With that said, now let's talk about the tack that I'm using. You'll notice here that I'm using a training fork or a running martingale. I am really surprised at how many people really don't understand the value of a training fork. This horse is a saddlebred. She naturally carries a high head carriage. She's also trained to have a high head carriage. In this application, the training fork is a vital piece of equipment. Why? Because it serves two purposes. We already know that she's getting light on the forehand. As you know, when I pull back on the reins, the training fork allows a downward force to bring the nose back down to the point of shoulder. Now, what would happen if I didn't have a training fork? If I pulled straight back, this would further put the horse off balance and cause the horse to go back. So in this application, the training fork is actually helping me keep the horse on the ground and keeping me safe. Now, notice she's getting light on the front end. It's my responsibility to get those feet moving, get them unstuck from the ground. As you've seen in the previous clips, horses can go up and over backwards in a split second. That is why I don't care where this horse goes. I just want the horse to go forward and move its feet. Get it going somewhere. Anywhere is good. Again, you see this horse getting light on the forehand, and she's backing up, getting ready to go up. I have been over backwards plenty of times. I don't need to go back on this one. This Peanut has a history of going up and over on its back with the rider underneath it. This horse was in the kill pen before Karen rescued the horse. Now remember, this video is only 2 minutes long, so it only took me about 30 seconds to get leadership and to get this horse going forward. You'll notice there's no welts on the horse's butt, there's no spur marks on the rib cage, and the horse took the wrong lead. I don't care, because why? I just wanted the horse to go anywhere, trot or a canter. She's avoiding going forward. She's spinning around the forehand. I never asked for the horse to go around the forehand. I asked for the horse to go forward. The sad thing about this video is that you're never going to see just how soft and supple the horse was at the end of this lesson. You saw a nice, quiet horse at the beginning of the lesson, and then you saw the lesson get a little messy like some lessons do. But at the end, the horse was quiet and soft and relaxed, just like we want them. Remember, you have a responsibility if a horse is rearing up. You got to do what it takes to get the horse moving forward. That's the answer. The answer is you cannot let the horse lock up and go backwards. You got to push the horse forward. Keep the feet moving. In my training, I have 3 rules. Be as soft as possible and firm as necessary, and reward for the slightest try. Ask, insist, and demand. Always start out soft and end soft. Also, get in, get it done, and get out. This is Randy Byers, and I approve of this video.